Hey everyone, I'm Coach Trevor with lwstrength.com and welcome back to our three-part series, Road to a Healthy You. In this series, we focus on all the essential things you need to know when starting your health journey without overloading your mind with any information you don't. In our first video, we looked at our first of three pillars, and that was fitness. We talked about getting started with exercise, when to take rest days, along with letting your body recover after a challenging training, and setting the expectations clear for the results you may want to achieve. For today's video, we head into an equally important pillar of your healthy lifestyle, and that is nutrition. Today, we're going to be covering things like understanding calories, reading labels for the foods you eat, and fueling your body for the results you want. Nutrition can be one of the most overlooked pillars when it comes to getting started, simply because of the vast amounts of information out there, which can get confusing if you're just getting started. So if you guys are ready to get the basics down and leave this video with a solid foundation to make better decisions with your food, let's hop into it. So to start today's video, we're going to be going over calorie consumption and reviewing the calories in, calories out theory. This is most likely a theory you've heard before, but it's one that's often thrown around without much explanation. So today we're going to start off by getting a better understanding of what that theory is and why it may be beneficial for you to understand for your weight loss journey. So let's start off with calories in. This simply means the number of calories you take in on a daily basis. This can be from food, drinks, or just about anything. Now, calories out is just the opposite, meaning the daily number of calories you burn. This could be from working out or just living through your daily routine. Now, when you burn more calories than you take in, this is called being in a calorie deficit. And being in a calorie deficit is the only way you can lose weight. The trouble many people often run into when trying to follow the calories in, calories out theory is they often run into the problem of feeling like they can't eat enough food or that they need to starve themselves to stay under their number. Because let's say, for example, you only burn 1,000 calories in a day, technically you should be eating less than 1,000 calories to enter that calorie deficit. But we know that wouldn't be healthy or realistic to cut down to, so where do we go from there? How do we lose weight and not feel like we're constantly starving ourselves? That's a question we're going to answer today. Calorie density refers to the amount of calorie content a food has relative to its portion. So for example, a low calorie dense food is a food without a high calorie content, whereas a high calorie dense food is the opposite. In terms of weight loss, searching for a low calorie dense food is a great way to start. Let's compare, for example, an apple to a piece of bread you'd most likely find at a restaurant. If our average calories per apple is around 70 calories, and the average calories per piece of bread ranges from 150 to 220 calories per piece, we can see that although the serving size for these two foods are very similar, one has almost double the calorie content than the other and provides minimal nutritional value to our body. Now, this is just an example, and I'm not saying that you can never have a piece of bread while going out to a restaurant, but getting a clear understanding of the calories in the foods you're eating will mean you'll better understand and alter your eating habits for the future. In the example we used, you can eat 3 apples and still be under the possible calorie intake of just one piece of bread. This all goes to show that being in a calorie deficit does not have to mean eating less food. It simply means getting a little bit smarter with the foods you are eating and understanding that low calorie dense foods are your friend. So now that we've got a good overview of the calories in, calories out theory and how low calorie dense food can help with your journey, let's talk about reading labels and some clear indications for foods you may want to steer clear from. When it comes to reading our food labels, it's important to look at the food serving size before analyzing the other facts. Some foods may look low in calories when in reality that's only because the serving size they show is also low. Now that being said, remember that calories themselves are not the end-all be-all when it comes to our journey to being more healthy. Even when thinking of the calories in, calories out theory we talked about before, the types of foods you eat are just as important as the number of calories you eat. So what makes a food unhealthy, and what are some key aspects we can pinpoint when heading into our next shopping run? One factor is fats, and it's located right under the calories. There are healthy fats and there are unhealthy fats. Ideally, you should try to keep your saturated fats at a low. Per serving size, if your food has 3 or fewer grams of saturated fats, you're at a pretty good spot. Trans fats, on the other hand, are a fat you may want to steer clear from completely if you can. These are most often found in heavily processed foods and are used to extend the shelf life of products. Now, a bit lower on our list of nutritional facts, we can see our sodium and our sugar content. Now, sodium does play a role in helping balance fluids in our body, as well as play a role in our nerves and muscles. However, if you're like many others, you're most likely already taking in more sodium than your body needs on a daily basis. Depending on your age and weight, the recommended sodium content per day can range from 1,500 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams. But when you consider the fact that processed foods can contain hundreds of milligrams of sodium per serving, exceeding that daily recommendation is not exactly a tough thing to do. Now, in the case of sugar, it's equally important to check those numbers. On a daily basis, it's recommended that the average male consumes no more than 38 grams of sugar, while the average female consumes no more than 25. When looking at the sugar content in your food, try to think of it as empty calories. Not only is the sugar adding unhealthy calories to the food you're eating, but it's serving no nutritional value to your body. When you're able to choose between a food with or without high sodium and tons of added sugars, hopefully the choice is more than clear. Now, last but not least, team, I'm gonna end this list with a factor you should be on the lookout for with your food labels, and that is protein. Now, the benefits of protein run twofold. Not only does protein aid in your weight loss journey, but adding more protein to your diet can also help in gaining lean body mass, which will help you along the way of your fitness journey. When it comes to weight loss, protein can take on many effects of the body to help make life just a little bit easier. Adding protein to your diet not only reduces food cravings throughout the day, but it can also help the body stay fuller longer. This is a great callback to when we talked about how people feel like they need to starve themselves when trying to lose weight. Aiming to eat low-calorie dense foods paired with adding more protein to your day-to-day diet not only allows you to eat more food, but also keeps you just as full as you were before. So team, just like our first video, remember that smaller and slower changes are scientifically proven to last longer and eventually form into habits. You may be at a point where you're discouraged and want to make drastic changes to your eating, but just like your fitness routine, it's important to start slow. Starting with the purpose to build healthier habits over time is much more important than hopping on a crazy restrictive diet for a month and then bouncing right back. Compare some food labels, slowly increase that protein intake, and you'll be on your way to a more healthy you. This has been Pillar 2 to our road to a healthy you, and we will see you guys next time.